Hello my darlings, we have come to the end of my masking club series. In this video we're going to do an overview of the series. We are also going to touch a bit on the highlights of the series and of course celebrate the stars of the series. Over this series I have reviewed 18 masks. I've also had 2 videos talking about my favorite masking technique. If you're new here, please check out the description box. I will link the playlist to this series and all the blog posts I have written towards it. In the first video of the Masking Club series, I did speak about skincare techniques that I use that help me optimize my daily masking ways. And out of all of them, the most important one for me is to always apply my face mask on wet skin. This allows me to move my face mask across my face a little bit easier. It helps me trap moisture into the skin and it helps me use less product. I then shared one of my beauty secrets, and that is masking in the morning. I made a specific video for this and I even wrote a blog post about it. Masking in the morning has got to be a top tier way for me to really get my skin all the way gathered and prepared for the day. I just love how it makes me feel a little bit more precious, a little bit more beautiful, and as I said, the skin is always super happy when I do that. I also did decide to bring in overnight masks into this series. I think using the term overnight masks is a very fancy way of renaming moisturizers, but I still think it's valid, especially if an overnight mask has AHAs, BHAs, or retinols. As I was gathering myself for this video, I went through all the videos that I have done this year, and these are the masks that really stood out to me. These are the stars of the series. We'll start with the Celimax Real Noni Clay Mask. I reviewed this mask in the first video of this series, and to me it was the best clay mask I tried this year. I liked the size, I liked the price, I liked how it felt on the skin. It never dried the skin out. I felt like the antioxidant within it, which is Noni, was really supportive to the skin. It worked well both in my morning and my evening routines, and it's definitely a clay mask I feel all skin types would enjoy. Next up would be the Mary May Collagen Peptide Vital Mask. Now this was a box of sheet masks. I'm not quite the lover of sheet masks simply because I do not like the idea of single-use skincare. All that paper, it's not the best thing. But the reason that I purchased this is that it came in a box, and it really surprised me that none of the masks dried out. That was the star aspect of those sheet masks. The entire situation did not disappoint. And the reason why I also bought it in that format was to encourage anyone out there who loves sheet masks. I'm not judging you. It's okay, we all have different ways of how we support Mother Earth. But if you love your sheet masks, consider buying them in a box so that you can reduce your paper and your waste. But if you love your sheet masks, K-Beauty has normalized the idea of having sheet masks in boxes. So there is quite a few of them out there to explore. Mary May, in fact, has about 4 types, I believe. These ones I liked. They were super juicy on the skin and I really enjoyed them. Next up was the utter surprise of the bunch. In fact, I have repurchased this mask. I'm about to finish it and I see myself repurchasing it again. This is the Skinfood Rice Mask Wash Off. This was delightful. It was so moisturizing. It is so moisturizing. Dare I say, it left my skin feeling tight and all the way gathered. The skin just looked polished and supported, and I particularly liked using it in my morning routine, and every time I use it, the skin just looks so good for the rest of the day, and I have loved that mask. And I shouldn't love it that much because ingredient wise it is so simple. It is simply full of lots of emollients and of course the rice in it, and I feel like the rice is what gives it that brightening effect on the skin. Perfect for the morning routine, perfect for when the skin is feeling very thirsty, just needs a little bit more support. Maybe the skin has worked hard that day, you wore makeup, you wore sunscreen, you've had it on your skin for about 18 hours, you were out and about. That mask just has such a lovely, replenishing, nourishing aspect to it. Loved it. Next up is Intervention from Disciple. Throughout my reviews, I have only had about 3 exfoliating masks. When it comes to my daily masking ways, exfoliating masks are low on the tier simply because there's only so much you can exfoliate. You have to be mindful about the matter. And I prefer to exfoliate from my serums and my toners rather than my masks. But I don't mind having them. In fact, I do like having them, especially for my days when I do facials. Out of all the 3 exfoliating masks that I tried this year, Intervention was the star of the show. It exfoliated my skin exactly the way I love it to be exfoliated. The skin was nourished. The mask is potent, it is chock full of oils, and the skin is just always left very soft and very moisturized, yet extremely polished. Due to its potency, it's not a mask I can easily recommend for every skin type. You would have to be comfortable with chemical exfoliation to get into this one. And maybe if you're not so comfortable, maybe use it every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks as you build your resistance. I do like that it's chock full of oils, so there is that nourishing aspect. But for the rest of us who are really good with chemical exfoliation, this is a stunning mask. It is worth being a star in this series. Now, I did bring in overnight masks into this series because they do fall under this category. Thankfully, both of them were absolutely fantastic. To me, both of them were very neck and neck, so I'm going to mention the both of them. I'll first mention the one I am most familiar with, and that is the Iunik Propolis Vitamin Sleeping Mask. I have used that in the past, and it was my memory of it that inspired me to bring overnight masks into this series. It's a beautiful moisturizer. I would consider it more of a moisturizer rather than an overnight mask because it doesn't have any actives. The star ingredient in this is propolis, and propolis is an ingredient I have found to be very healing and soothing to my skin. It has such a beautiful cocooning texture. Every time I have it in my routine, I am very happy. It is not too heavy, it is not too light. I am able to use it both in the day and in the evening. A solid recommendation from me. Next up is the Sulwashoo Overnight Vitalizing Mask. It's rather similar to the Iunik one because it also has honey. Honey and propolis are friends, they're both from bees, so I found this to be very nourishing to the skin. It was also chock full of antioxidants, and it made such an impact on me that I immediately repurchased it again. I had just gone through my second tube of it, and I have another one in my backup stash. Just like the Iunik one, it's not heavy. I was able to use it both in my day routine and my evening routine, and once again, a solid recommendation from me. Last and certainly not least, we'll end with a product that is very me. I love it when skincare is truly self-care. You know, it's a treat. It's something that really elevates you. It's not necessarily just about dealing with skincare concerns, but just, you know, making you feel plush and nice. And that would be the chocolate mask from Inlight. This is an absolute delight. It is such an indulgent treat. Chock full of oils and butters, lots of antioxidants from beautiful extracts such as rose and calendula, and you get a little bit of exfoliation from some powders within the formula. The powders are cacao and carob and baobab. I particularly have loved using this in my morning routine, just because of that exfoliation factor as well, and the oils. I love to nourish the skin in the morning. Nourishing masks are usually my go-to when I am picking out a mask for my morning routine, and this has really done the thing. Every time I have used it in my morning routines, I have just felt like such a princess. The skin has looked all the way gathered, and I am here for it. If you have a lot of room in your beauty budget, Inlight is definitely a brand to check out. High quality ingredients, intentional formulas, and just the efficiency is there. You know, you will definitely see a difference in the skin. And there's that elevated aspect to the brand. Such a stunning brand, a brand I would love to do an overview on. Let's see what 2024 has for us. And that's that, my darlings. We are at the end of the Masking Club series. I have also decided to write a blog post about this, quickly reviewing all the masks I have tried this year. I'm also going to be sharing my experience of the creativity of this series. Of course, it will be linked down below. I want to thank you so much for being here with me, and I want to wish you such a beautiful December, a December of rest and space and grace for you to be able to reconnect with yourself as we move into 2024. My name is Ijoma, and I'll see you soon.